Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Another day working with my beautiful bride. How could it get any better?
Exactly.
Let me tell you how it could get better. We could have an awesome guest. Somebody like, I don't know, how about Steven Raichlen? He's the author of a new book called ProjectFire. It's about barbecues and cooking stuff on the grill. And I'm looking at the cover of this book, and I've never seen this done before, but I've been told it's really good. He's got the steak laying right on the coals. Like not on a grill grate, laying right on the coals.
Oh.
I have to ask him a little more about that. But we'll be chatting with him. He's literally written the book on barbecues. We're going to talk all about that coming up later in the program. Teddy Roosevelt is our quote for today. He was the president, Heidi.
Yes, I am aware. One of the greatest presidents we've ever
Believe
had.
you can, and you're halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt. I love that.
He was amazing.
And here's the thing. Just the fact that you say, I can do it, that is half the battle right there. And if you say, I can't do it, you're probably right. You're not going to do it. So think I can. I think I can. We got a great show. At least I think so. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Wednesday, the 16th day of May. It is National Juice Slush Day today. It is also Honor Our LGBT Elders Day, National Biographers Day, National Colloquy St. Jacques Day. I don't know if I got that right. COLQUILLES.
I wouldn't know. I don't even know what that is.
National Love a Tree Day, National Piercing Day, and National Sea Monkey Day. Have you ever seen a sea monkey?
I have not.
I wonder if they eat sea bananas. I'll let myself out.
Wow.
This is all of the stuff that's happening on this Wednesday, the 16th day of May.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, Americans have always loved their beer, but not every state loves the beverage equally. According to new data pulled from 24/7 Wall Street, New Hampshire surpasses all other states in terms of the gallons of beer consumed per capita. That shocks me. I thought Wisconsin was the leader in that.
I don't know.
But New Hampshire is numero uno. Each resident of New Hampshire drinks, on average, 40.6 gallons of beer per year, which is more than twice as much as the state that drinks the least at 18.7 gallons consumed per year. Guess what state drinks the least amount of beer?
I don't know.
Every year. It's Utah. That state drinks the amount of beer, drinks the least amount of beer in the country, the state of Utah.
Isn't that because one of those religions
Mormons?
doesn't drink at all?
Yeah, so there's, to each their own. But I wonder why New Hampshire is so high on the list.
I don't know.
Must
be a stressful state.
I could have swore for years that they were saying, maybe that was colleges. Maybe that was the colleges that drink the most. I don't know. I remember Wisconsin was on the top of the list for some reason. But not on this one. New Hampshire, number one, dead last, drinking the least amount is Utah. There you go. I've got a link to that story on our show notes page at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your Brain on Drugs. A traffic stop on Interstate 40 led Metro Police to discover more than $1 million of heroin concealed in a fire extinguisher. Roberto Hernandez, age 25 of Arkansas, was charged with possession of heroin after authorities found, you ready for this, 16.8 pounds of heroin. That's a lot. Hidden inside a fire extinguisher that had been tampered with. That's not a bad idea to hide it in there, I suppose, but it was a bad idea because he did get caught. This happened like a week ago Wednesday, so maybe 2 weeks ago now. This happened, I'm trying to just skim through this here. The canine partner, Boston, was the dog's name, sniffed outside the Dodge Charger, indicated there was drug odor coming from the trunk. Inside, they found a red fire extinguisher that had been tampered with. Upon examination and dismantling the fire extinguisher, they found 16.8 pounds of heroin. Anyway, that's a lot.
That's a nice try.
Over $1 million in heroin. He's being held on a $250,000 bond. He's like, hey, will you let me out if I just give you this heroin? No?
It's worth way more.
Investigation continues. The Major Case Task Force, the DEA, and the TBI. I don't even know what that stands for, but I wonder if it's the FBI and they just have a typo. Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what TBI is.
I don't think it is anything. I bet that is a typo. Either way, I've got a link to the story in our show notes page at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
And this is your brain on drugs. I used to watch the Undercover Boss, and I loved it. And we missed this. I guess Friday there was a new version of Undercover Boss. Did you see this online?
No.
I was just reading a story about it. It was last Friday is when it first started. Celebrity Edition.
Okay.
The title implies that's a spin-off of the show that we like, Undercover Boss,
yeah.
where celebrities go undercover in their companies. In the premiere, Olympic gymnast Gabby Douglas went undercover to discover gifted gymnasts and coaches, and it was on last Friday on CBS, and I missed it completely.
Huh.
We haven't been watching television. I'll have to watch that in reruns, I guess. But we really, really enjoyed Celebrity, or what was the other one called?
Undercover Boss.
Yeah, that one.
We did a lot. I loved that show.
And I would, every time I'd get all teary-eyed.
I know, we both would.
We'd be sitting there watching it. We're like, I think it's my allergies. And one last thing. Alan Thicke's widow, Tanya, is claiming that her son, Robin, is keeping her inheritance from her. Well, that's not good. I don't know what's going on there. Couple of things there from our big screen, little screen, right here, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. We're going to start right here. Starbucks is being slammed on Twitter for dropping their only gluten-free sandwiches off the menu, and they picked a terrible time to do it right in the middle of Celiac Awareness Month. I was thinking, you probably, right now, Starbucks, you guys have done so many other things recently that have got you in the news.
It's been interesting. It's like they're trying to tank their company.
Can you imagine their PR person? They're like, okay, give me another espresso latte, double shot, whatever. What's a drink that would have a lot of caffeine? Whatever that is, they need that. And they need it. Venti, is that the big one? I don't know. I never have figured out that language. A survey by the Social Security Administration have found that the word or the name Melania is one of the fastest growing names right now in the United States. One of the 5 fastest growing baby names in the country. It moved up 720 spaces just in the last year alone. So a lot more people naming their babies. And I'm assuming most of those are girls, but you never know these days.
You would hope.
Scientists in Germany are conducting a study to see if they can develop miniature Neanderthal brains.
Why?
I don't know.
What is the point of that?
So I'll read that again. And I have a link to the story if you want to know more. I've just got the headline. Scientists in Germany conducting a study to see if they can develop miniature Neanderthal brains. I've got a bunch of jokes about people I know on Facebook that I'm going to just skip over right now. A man who was wearing full makeup on his face, like female makeup, not dressed like a clown, but just had makeup on. A man wearing makeup was denied entry into a club in Corpus Christi, Texas. And upset about it. But here's the thing. You probably dodged a bullet there. Imagine if you had gotten into a club in Texas.
Yeah. Probably
makeup.
Not your crowd.
I'm just saying, maybe that was a good thing for you. Hawaiian police have arrested a man who was looting homes that were evacuated near a volcano. So they had a volcano that was, erupting, and get out of here. It's dangerous. And this dude took that time to say, hey, I'm going to go take whatever I want. That's not good.
I could see that happening a lot more often than you would think.
That's bad. And I think there should be a special place in jail for a person like that. They should be in
There's a special place somewhere else for people like that.
They should be in a very uncomfortable cell. Maybe a really hot one, to kind of get them
Get
used
them
to.
ready.
Just saying. B&G Foods unveiled a 90-foot billboard of the Jolly Green Giant in Times Square last Thursday. I remember as a child.
I'm
Heidi's
already shaking my head. This is the most ridiculous thing.
I remember as a child, we would go I grew up in Huron, South Dakota, and I had relatives that lived in Wisconsin, and like the halfway point was Albert Lee, Minnesota, and they have the Jolly Green Giant standing there. And I don't know why, but that's where we would always stop. I remember as a kid, I was always so impressed with that, and we went there as adults. All the way there, I was telling my wife, it's so cool. It's like, it's just amazing. This big statue, we're there just like, that's it? Really? We drove all the way here to see this? I was like, as a kid, it was way cooler. I don't know. I don't know why I was so impressed with this. We should probably turn around and go 300 miles back home now.
Yeah, there wasn't a gift shop or anything. Like, you couldn't even buy some Jolly Green
Giant.
Giant.
Of corn or something? Nothing? Anybody? And one final story here. South Carolina High School is threatening to fine families up to $1,000 if they cheer when their child's name is announced at graduation. That's a bad idea. Because how do they know if it's your family that cheered? What if I just don't like you and I have my family cheer for you?
That's a great idea.
I'm just saying, now your family is going to get fined $1,000. I think it's a very bad idea. Now, I understand what they're saying. They're trying to get this thing done, and the less time they have to wait because people cheering and hooting and hollering. But here's the thing. Graduation only happens once. So let them have their time. I understand you guys want to roll through. Keep rolling. Keep moving.
But what about the kids with no family?
Well, there should be a section that's just going to cheer for them. They're going to cheer for everybody right up front. Yay! Yay! When I was a kid, we weren't supposed to do this, so anybody that's listening from my hometown, it wasn't me, but we had the air horns. And we weren't the only ones. We had an air horn for our boat.
Yeah.
And everybody, burp, burp, burp. So I understand. Now, if that's a $1,000 fine, I don't admit to any of it. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Wednesday. We are halfway through the month of May, and there are a lot of folks that have already got their grills out and ready for the summer, and we're going to be chatting with a guy today that literally wrote the book on grilling. We're visiting with Steven Raichlen. He is the author of the New York Times best-selling book, Barbecue Bible, a whole cookbook series, and he's got a new book out called Project Fire, Cutting-Edge Techniques and Sizzling Recipes from the Caveman Porterhouse to Salt Slab Brownie S'mores. Mr. Raichlen, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, we're going to talk about grilling, and this time of year, a lot of people are doing a whole lot of grilling. So let's talk about some of the different methods that people use when they get the grill out and start cooking in the backyard. What are some of the more common and popular methods?
Well, first of all, there are the 5 classic methods of grilling, and they are direct grilling, indirect grilling, smoking, rotisserie grilling, and my personal favorite, what I call caveman grilling. That is when you place the food directly on the embers. In fact, the cover of my new book, Project Fire, shows a beautiful T-bone steak grilled right in the embers.
And that's where you literally sit the steak right on the embers themselves?
Absolutely. And, people are a little shocked, a little alarmed sometimes when they see it, but you get this incomparable crust and smoky flavor. Plus, you can only imagine at your next cookout. I mean, eyes will pop, jaws will drop. People will think you're either a madman or a genius, or both.
And I guess the taste will tell the difference, won't it?
It's a sensational way to cook a steak. Like I said, again, the crusty, smoky exterior, succulent interior, and you make a sauce with garlic, parsley, and bell peppers that gets poured over the top of the steak. So it's super colorful.
Now, when it comes time to do grilling, there's a lot of different things that people do, but I'm reading the info here, and you're saying when you're going to do the grilling, you should soak your wood chips. Now, let's talk about that. Why would you do that?
So you use wood chips for generating a smoke flavor with grilling. And if you place an unsoaked oak or hickory chip on the fire, it will catch flames within a minute or two. Whereas if you soak the chips first before placing them on the fire, they will slowly smolder and emit smoke over a longer period of time. So it's a way really to get the maximum smoking value out of your wood chips.
Very nice. Now, when it comes to grilling, there's also different fuel that people use. Some people use charcoal. Some people use propane. Some people use wood. Is that basically just a personal preference, or is there one that's, quote unquote, the right and wrong way?
Well, it's a simple question with a complicated answer. So about 70% of Americans use gas as their go-to fuel. And gas offers convenience. However, it doesn't offer much in the way of flavor. Charcoal gives you a higher heat. It's very easy to add wood and smoke on charcoal. So that is another very good option. But for me, the absolute best way to grill is over a wood fire. Why a wood fire? Because you're getting not only heat from the wood, but you're getting wood smoke. The downside of a wood fire, you need a more substantial grill. There's a longer time to get it fired up. The fire's a little more mercurial and unpredictable. So what I've tried to do in Project Fire is give my readers all three options.
The book is called Project Fire. It's available right now, and it's a perfect time to start thinking about a great idea for Father's Day. And this would be a great way to say, hey, Dad, here, your grilling is good, but it could be better, right?
Absolutely. Guys love to get books for Father's Day. And if you want more information, my website is barbecuebible.com. That's BARBECUEBIBLE.com.
Very, very nice. Well, Steven, thank you very much for taking the time to visit with us today. I appreciate it a bunch.
Of course. Great speaking with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Again, Steve Raichlen, and the book is called Project Fire, Cutting-Edge Techniques and Sizzling Recipes from the Caveman Porterhouse to the Salt Slab Brownie S'mores. It's available right now. I'll have a link to it at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In ancient Egypt, priests plucked every hair from their bodies, including their eyebrows and eyelashes. Ouch.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
More than 8,100 U.S. troops are still listed as missing in action from the Korean War. That's the one your grandfather served in.
Yep.
8,100. That is terrible. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the Great Fire of 1666, half of London was burned down, but only 6 people were injured. So half of the town got burned down, but most of the people got away. Again, 6 people injured. That is a crazy fun fact right there. Couple of fun facts, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and it is obfuscate. What do you think obfuscate means?
I don't know.
Obfuscate. It is a verb to render obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Obfuscate. To confuse, bewilder, or stupefy. Obfuscate. To make obscure or unclear. Obfuscate. To darken. used in a sentence, every question was met with an incoherent attempt to obfuscate the point that he sounded completely inebriated. Obfuscate. Today's grandiloquent word.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now some weird news on a Wednesday. A Virginia man who was twice spotted walking through a park wearing high heels and stockings, but no pants, has been arrested on indecent exposure charges. 37-year-old Jeffrey Battaglia was seen without pants on 2 separate occasions.
Where was this?
In a city park in Charlottesville.
Okay.
No, just 40 miles from Charlottesville. Anyway, a male witness reported seeing a man exposing himself wearing a black hat and a black dinner jacket and high heels, but no pants. A week later, a female witness saw the same gentleman wearing a black jacket and high heels and stockings. They identified him. He lives about 7 miles from this park. The pantsless stroller was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor indecent exposure. So,
wow, that's special.
Yeah, he's wearing a dinner jacket and a top hat and no pants. You got the top part covered, but maybe the bottom next time, too. Don't quite know what that was. But that's why we called it Today's Weird News. Now, your moment of duh. Another angry fast food customer, Heidi. 91-year-old. This guy's 91.
91?
91-year-old Johnny Douglas, Richmond, England. This is in England. Last Monday, so not this week, but last week, he opened fire at another McDonald's customer at the drive-thru because the guy wasn't going fast enough. He engaged in a verbal dispute with a 39-year-old that was in front of him outside of a fast food restaurant at 3:45 in the a.m.
Oh, my
gosh. I'm assuming there's probably some sort of booze involved, but it doesn't say that in the story. They say that he was going too slow. Well, he can only go as fast as a car in front of him, sir. Anyway, some shots were fired towards him. The younger man defended himself by throwing a smoothie at the elderly man. You can't make this up. No injuries were reported from the incident. The department released all the details. I've got a link to the story, and it says he was charged with criminal recklessness as well as pointing a loaded firearm at another individual. He's also been jailed and charged with a misdemeanor intimidation and disorderly conduct charge.
Oh, my gosh.
So, he's 91. He just wanted to get a McGriddle or whatever he was going for.
Oh,
I don't know what the plan was at 3:45 a.m. This has been your moment of duh.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Now, fake news or Florida. Florida. What do you think, Heidi? You tell me if this is fake news or Florida. A Florida man told his roommate the next one's going in you after shooting at him during an altercation over cat hair. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
It's actually Florida. Did we just read this story or did I just read this maybe getting ready?
You must have just read it getting ready.
Okay. According to a police report, a Florida man told his roommate the next one's going in you after shooting at him during an altercation over cat hair. Craig Allen Tull told the responding officer, Christopher Schaefer, did not clean up after his cat when he left hair all over the couch. He ordered Schaefer to leave the house, but he refused. At that point, he shoved Schaefer, and then he told him he was sitting at the computer in the living room when Tull went and got his gun from the bedroom, pointed it at him, and fired around in his direction, but did not hit him. And he said, the next one's going in you. He said that he grabbed his car keys from his belt before jabbing the gun into his rib cage. Woo! Caused some minor bruising. Crime scene investigators found bullet holes in a wood cabinet that were consistent with the Taurus revolver in the home. He faces charges including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. Bad idea. You don't want to do that. That is something that happened, a real story that truly happened in Florida, and it's in our Fake News or Florida section in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Our good news comes your way courtesy of Odiva. It's a monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details are on our site, radiosavings.com. And this, I think, is pretty darn cool. Do you remember Night Court? Do you remember that show? Night Court?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the character Phil that was on there that was like the bum?
Yes,
Phil. And then when he died, they found out he was a millionaire, and the Phil harmonic was supposedly named after him. Well, this isn't quite that drastic, but Secretary mimicked her boss for 67 years. Everybody shocked by her secret fortune and then what she did with it. So Sylvia Bloom worked as a secretary at the same New York City law firm for most of her life. A practical and hardworking woman, to the outside, she was living a modest, frugal lifestyle, but she had a secret practice nobody knew about. She earned a meager annual income, never talked about money, and wasn't living the high life, but she was a child of the Depression and knew what it was like to not have money, so she had great empathy for people who were needing things. Secretaries in those days ran their bosses' lives, including their investments. Whenever she would see her boss make a stock pick and purchase it for him, she would buy the same stock for herself.
Oh, good thinking.
But in a smaller amount that, fit her budget. She kept track of all the investments until she finally retired at age 96.
Oh, wow.
She retired at age 96. When she died shortly thereafter, it was discovered that she had amassed a fortune. She never told anybody about it, by the way. And here's the thing that's really cool. She left some of it to friends and family in her will, but directed that all of the rest be brought to a charity in New York City that cares for adults and children whom she thought needed it the most.
Oh.
An endowment of $6.4 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Good for her.
That is such
that
a cool.
is fantastic.
What an inspiring story. And I've got a link to the story and all of the details. It is just, I think that is so cool.
That's very cool.
And you would be amazed how many times you'll talk to somebody who you'd never guess that they were a millionaire or, extremely wealthy, but they are. There are people like this all the time that, they don't spend it every day. They don't,
right.
And that's how they keep. And I just think it's a cool story. And I love that she did something amazing with it. I can't get over the fact that she was a secretary until she was 96.
Right.
That is crazy. So, I don't know. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. We got a link to this good news and other great things in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.